Now, the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science have asked Dr. Mark Green to address Convocation this evening. Dr. Green.
Thank you. I am honored to be here. Greetings to graduates and families, Chancellor Leach, Deputy Provost Denishment, Rector Young, fellow faculty members, and all others here to support our graduates. In my own language, Mohawk, Sego, welcome. This convocation represents a watershed in your careers. You've worked extremely hard over the past few years, and now it is time to celebrate your accomplishments, but also to view, perhaps with some trepidation, what lies ahead. I remember my own Queen's graduation in 1987, although everybody has reminded me that, and I don't really remember what the honorary speaker said at that convocation. But realizing how lucky I was at the time to be a second-generation Queen's engineer. My uncle happened to graduate from civil engineering in 1962. At that time, I did not recognize what an achievement that was, particularly for him as an Aboriginal man growing up in the 1950s and 60s. My grandmother was a residential school survivor and had to spend her life working as a maid, although she initially had aspired to be a nurse, but her education was cut short. However, she worked tirelessly for her family, and her sacrifices have allowed for my success and certainly the success of all of her children. And I'm proud of the fact that two of my uncles are engineers. My father was a high school teacher and also another uncle. So this, in a way, as an engineering professor, I sort of decided to combine both careers. However, this success came at the expense of Aboriginal culture and traditions. And our family, and this is common in many Aboriginal families, are still working hard to relearn some of the traditions that have been lost to the pain of residential school. When I was a Queen's student, there was no Aboriginal Student Centre. Being Native was, quite frankly, an afterthought. And I remember checking at the time the Queen's Student Residence phone book, looking to see if there were Brants or Miracles listed, one of the common names in Tyendinaga, and I didn't find any at the time. But things are different now. Start with, I don't know if you can find a phone book anymore, or if many of you know what it is. But our new residence, to be completed this summer, will be named Brant House, after respected Queen's alumni, Drs. Marlene Brant Castellano and Dr. Claire Brant, both of whom are originally from Tyendinaga. And of particular importance tonight in the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science, and certainly the great support we've had from Dean Woodhouse, is the launching of the Aboriginal Access to Engineering initiative. This initiative has been guided by a circle of advisors that I've been lucky to be a part of, and also includes two other Aboriginal alumni members. This initiative aims to increase the number of Aboriginal engineers in Canada, both through outreach to Aboriginal communities and youth, as well as supporting Aboriginal students during their time here at Queen's. In particular, I'm delighted to be here tonight as three of our first Aboriginal Access Program graduates will receive their degrees in this ceremony. Certainly today is a special day. But it is truly a celebration of the achievements of everyone in this room. As you venture out and begin your careers or continue with your education, you will come to understand this significance in many ways. Each of you is here not only because of your actions, but also because of those mentors and family members, many of whom are here this evening, who guided you on your path, just as my grandmother guided me. So you are leaders for the 21st century. So what does it truly mean to lead? Certainly in the context of graduation, it means career success and accomplishment. The technical and professional skills you have learned are essential for success in engineering, and particularly for solving technical problems. As engineers, you have the power to turn dreams into reality, to take something that was just an idea and see it realized into something that can help save lives or to make the world a better place. So just as your ancestors and families impacted your lives to bring you to Queen's, you now carry the responsibility forward to understand that your actions as an engineer will impact future generations. Each decision you make on a project impacts hundreds of others and may be felt for generations. As engineers, it is time for us to think more comprehensively, to embrace and implement a different approach to the projects and activities we work on. We should look at things in a holistic manner. We are not just living on the earth, but rather we are an integral part of it. For engineers to be true leaders in society, we need to expand the vision beyond the technical and connect with the social, societal, and human implications of engineering. With that in mind, I encourage you to explore not only the technical solutions to problems, but the implications for the people who will benefit from the technology, but also perhaps for those who may be negatively impacted by the development projects you pursue. There are far too many examples of engineering solutions that seem great from a technical perspective, but face huge opposition from communities at a grassroots level. In many cases, there is misinformation on both sides, which is fueled by a lack of appreciation of the social realities and implications by engineers. So when you begin a project, think about where it will be in 7 generations. What will be the long-term impact of implementation? Can you do something differently or better to make it more sustainable? Be deliberate in your choices and actions, knowing you will have the ability to make a difference. In particular, as more engineering projects are happening in northern Canada or other regions where they will directly impact Aboriginal peoples, engineers must learn to be more open to input and meaningful dialogue with Aboriginal communities. Many issues stem from misunderstandings of engineers, and many other Canadians, in fact, of the realities of the Aboriginal experience in Canada. Aboriginal communities need and want engineering projects, but they also want their values and traditions respected. All engineers need to have a better understanding of best practices for working with Aboriginal communities, and this is particularly important for those of you who may be embarking on careers in the resource sector. Justice Sinclair, in his report this week on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, said it best when he stated, "Reconciliation is not an Aboriginal problem. It is a Canadian problem. It involves all of us." And that certainly holds true as well for us as engineers. So throughout your careers, remember to continue to challenge yourself and expand your horizons beyond the technical aspects of engineering. Consider the social implications of your work and endeavor to strengthen communities. With this in mind, you will not only become better engineers, but more engaged and productive members of society. Finally, I would like you to return your thoughts to your friends and family and those who sacrificed to help you on your path. These are the people who will truly help you to become a great person and a great engineer. Go forward with confidence, knowing that you have all you need to be successful. And congratulations to one and all. You certainly deserve it. Thank you. Now I'll go on.
Thank you very much, Dr. Green, for those great words of advice.